Okay, welcome back. Um, I was thinking, so this week I started to get some subscribers. Like, since last week, I think I got 11 more. Just because it's not going to continue. I know that because I posted that one video and I got like 10 subscribers from that. But I did notice myself getting like excited when the number was going up higher, and like I was checking it every day to see like, did I get somebody new? And I was thinking like, well, that's not a healthy thing to think, just like to keep checking this and be like, let's get more, let's get higher, because obviously, well, that's not the purpose of what I'm doing. But I don't feel too I think it's a natural thing for humans to see a number and just be like, well, how high can this number get? I do it all the time. I do it like I think that's the reason why I like baseball so much, because it's like so stat heavy, and like this year I'm a Met fan, and I was watching. Really, almost the only reason I was watching was because the team wasn't great for most of the year. But they have this kid, Pete Alonso, who hits a ton of home runs. And so I was watching all the year, like checking the stats every day, and like he kept hitting home runs, and he's at like 30 home runs, and he's at 40 home runs, and checking like what's the record. And it's fun, and it's really the only reason maybe I was still watching the games every day, is to see how many home runs he could hit. And it's 3 colors. Sometimes I'll check like economic stuff like GDP, or like what's the stock market, what's the Dow, just to see the chart go up, and it's just fun to look at numbers going up. So I don't feel too bad about that initial response to like wanting to see the subscribers number go up. But yeah, I just have to be careful, because it's not the purpose. I can't make it the purpose of what I'm doing, and it's not the purpose, so I have to just be careful of like, don't get too caught up in the numbers. Thanks for the tip. Try this, and I'll try this. Nope. Oh, I think I need the Pegasus boots. Did that do something? I remember it saying you need the Pegasus boots to beat this dungeon. Maybe not. Doesn't sound like it. No. That's everything. Oh. I had a couple good notes. I felt like, oh, I did. Ah, shoot. I did mention to him, like I mentioned last week in one of my episodes, that based on his definition of social anxiety, I was kind of worried, like maybe I don't have social anxiety. He described it like when you're in a social situation, you feel like everybody's judging you and everybody's looking at you. And I did feel like that, I think, when I was younger. Oh, sorry. I made a bacon cheddar burger for dinner, and I was proud of myself that I was able to make multiple things. But yeah, my stomach. So I told him that, like, I don't know if I have social anxiety, and he kind of said, you've mentioned to me, like, when you're in a social situation, you're afraid of, you can sometimes be afraid of saying something, because of, you might say something embarrassing, or maybe you might not engage in a social situation because you're afraid that you won't have anything to say. And so that's enough to be considered social anxiety. He hasn't really diagnosed me with social anxiety disorder yet. I think he will. But yeah, it's weird. He hasn't really recommended any treatments for me. He's just been kind of giving me advice, like how to deal day to day with stuff. I guess it's good to take it slow. Instead of just being like, on the first day, I come in and I say, I have social anxiety, and he's like, okay, here, take this pill. That doesn't seem like a very good thing to do. When I was younger, I definitely used to get that, just more in social situations, just more nervous, and like my face would get red, and my heart would start beating faster. That doesn't happen as much anymore. And so that's part of the reason why I was thinking, well, maybe I don't have social anxiety. But just the fact that, like, I am, I guess, afraid of social situations. God, that word social is hard. It's always hard to say. Yellow is caution, red is danger. What's green? Oh. Blue, start over. Yellow is caution, red is danger. So I have to wait till it's red. Do I have to use the dust? Yeah. No. Yellow's caution, red is danger. Oops. I'm not sure what to do here. No. Sorry. color dungeon boss. Turns out that the key to defeating is to repeatedly hit with the weapon of Link's choice and change the color of its shell. The more as it gradually changes the color to red. Once it's deep red and cracked. Link let off the attack. Okay, let's try it. Need the shield. I talked about. He liked that I brought notes. I brought a note about I went to the dentist and the hygienist was like really talkative, so I mentioned that. Take your time. So the thing, I kind of came up with this while I was there, which is good. Like, I didn't think about this beforehand. He made me think. Well, I mentioned that I was able to ask her a question, which can sometimes be hard. I mean, just talking in general at all is hard. So the fact that I was able to ask a question, he was like, well, what was different about this social situation that made you be able to ask the question? And I thought of an answer which actually made sense, which I was kind of proud of. It was, oh shoot, why wasn't he dying? Just has to keep hitting him. The thing I came up with was, it had something to do with the fact that I was kind of stuck there. And she was asking me a bunch of questions, and I was able to answer them, like, where do you work, and do you have family nearby, and so then I was able, she mentioned her kids, and then I was able to ask her one question. I don't that's all I asked, but I asked her, do they live close? Doesn't seem like much, but it's a big deal for me to ask questions like that, I think. Especially to somebody I never met before. So the reason why I was able to ask that question, which I usually wouldn't be able to, because I was stuck there. In most social situations, I feel like, well, I'm bothering this person, maybe I should just leave. That's my first instinct, is always to leave. And usually in most social situations, you can just leave. Unless the other person's talking to you, then you can't leave. But then once they stop, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna go. But because I was kind of stuck there, and I had to get my teeth cleaned, I felt comfortable asking her a question, because otherwise it would have just been us sitting there in silence. Okay, let's give it one more try. Just fire arrows at him. Oh. So now I get, what do I get? The power of color. Oh, wait, what color do I want? This doesn't matter. Red for offense, blue for defense. What do you suggest to walk through? Yeah, I'll take the blue, I think. Okay, that was fun. Wish it was longer. Okay, I'll figure out how to get to the next dungeon next time. Okay, see you tomorrow.